Every time you go in for a tune-up, American repair shops are desperate to sell you a new set of spark plugs. They will pull out the old plugs, show you some minor discoloration, and convince you to spend $150 on a labor-intensive replacement. What they do not want you to know is that Japanese engineers designed those exact ignition components to safely run over 120,000 miles. By swapping them early, you are not extending the life of your engine. You are throwing away perfectly good, highly engineered iridium components. But there is a secret to Japanese ignition systems that dealerships intentionally hide. A $2 step that unlocks massive fuel economy improvements, and American mechanics skip it every single time. To understand why your fuel economy slowly drops year after year, you have to realize that spark plugs do not just ignite gasoline. They have to deliver an incredibly violent jolt of electricity, thousands of volts, directly into a highly pressurized combustion chamber. But electricity is lazy. It always searches for the path of least resistance. When your engine is brand new, the electricity travels straight down the center electrode of the spark plug, creating a massive, bright blue spark that burns every single drop of fuel perfectly. Your miles per gallon are flawless. But over years of driving, something invisible happens under the hood that quietly robs you of power. The rubber boots from your ignition coils wrap tightly around the white ceramic insulator of the spark plug. Over 40,000 miles of extreme engine heat, that rubber begins to break down. It microscopically shrinks and cracks. When this happens, the electrical voltage traveling down the coil decides it does not want to fight the compression inside the cylinder. Instead of jumping the gap at the tip of the plug, thousands of volts of electricity leak out of the sides, crawling down the ceramic insulator and grounding out against the metal engine block. This is called a voltage leak, and it is the silent killer of fuel economy. When the electricity leaks, the spark inside the cylinder becomes incredibly weak. It turns from a powerful blue snap into a lazy orange flicker. It no longer burns all the fuel. The unburned fuel washes down the cylinder walls, dilutes your oil, and is dumped into the exhaust, ruining your expensive catalytic converter while destroying your miles per gallon. And when you complain to the dealership about terrible gas mileage, what do? They sell you new spark plugs. But the new spark plugs do not fix the problem by themselves. They fix it accidentally and only temporarily because the real issue was never the metal plug. Japanese mechanics solved this problem decades ago, but the solution is so cheap that American shops refuse to use it. The secret is not replacing the expensive coil packs or the iridium spark plugs. The secret is creating an impenetrable electrical barrier using a highly specific type of dielectric grease. But they do not just smear it anywhere. Applying it incorrectly actually blocks the electricity. Instead, Japanese technicians use a precision swab to apply exactly 2 grams of pure silicone dielectric compound, exclusively on the inside lip of the rubber ignition boot. This single, inexpensive motion completely seals out moisture, stops the rubber from degrading, and forces 100% of the voltage directly down the center of the plug. Take a second to realize how much money the auto parts industry makes by hiding this barrier trick. I want you to go into the comments right now. Tell me the year and model of your vehicle and how much money you have spent replacing spark plugs and ignition coils at shops that never fix the real issue. We are going to build a national map of this scam so everyone can see how dealerships operate in your exact city. Let us expose this. With the dielectric barrier in place, your engine suddenly retrieves the thousands of volts of electricity it had been bleeding out into the atmosphere. The spark returns to a brilliant, violent blue arc. It detonates the fuel mixture flawlessly. Throttle response becomes razor sharp, a rough idle instantly smooths out, and your miles per gallon shoot back up to factory specifications. And you did it all without replacing a single piece of expensive hardware. But there is a second mistake American mechanics make when they touch Japanese spark plugs, and it is even more destructive than skipping the grease. For 50 years, mechanics have been taught to coat the silver threads of a spark plug with a silver paste called anti-seize. They do this so the plug does not get stuck in the cylinder head over time. But Japanese engineers strictly forbid this practice on modern engines. Toyota and Honda now plate the threads of their genuine spark plugs with a specialized trivalent metal coating. This coating naturally prevents the plug from sticking inside the aluminum engine block. When an American mechanic ignores this and slaps anti-seize on those threads anyway, they alter the friction coefficient of the metal. When they use a torque wrench to tighten the plug to the factory specification, the slick paste causes the plug to over-rotate. The mechanic ends up tightening the spark plug 20% past its breaking point without realizing it. This stretches the metal threads inside the engine block and creates microfractures in the ceramic insulator. Eventually, the ceramic shatters inside the combustion chamber, scoring the cylinder walls and destroying the engine. All because someone tried to use a 50-year-old American trick on Japanese precision engineering. You just learned how to secure your ignition voltage and why you must never let a mechanic use anti-seize on your Japanese car. Putting these practices together guarantees perfect fuel economy without paying a shop $200. But maintaining your engine is completely pointless if you are poisoning yourself inside the cabin every time you turn the key. Click subscribe right now, because in the next video we are exposing the terrifying truth behind the sour, wet smell coming out of your air conditioning vents. I am going to show you the hidden drain tube engineers buried in the firewall, and the $0 wire trick you need to clear the toxic mold they do not want you to know about.